Yeah, I heard about that last week.
No, trust me, this is the good one.
Not like I got a choice. Go ahead.
Okay, so listen to this one. They have the Gorbachev, Ronnie Reagan, and Tito in the airplane. And,
Whoa, Tito, what the fuck is the Jackson 5 doing on a plane with Reagan and Gorbachev?
no, man, Tito, the president from Yugoslavia. Are you gonna let me finish this funny or what? Okay. So Gorbachev, Ronnie Reagan, and Tito, okay, they in the airplane. So they fly for a little bit, and then Gorbachev, he stick his hand out the window. He says to the two guys, "Oh man, now we're flying over Russia." And they look at him, and they say, "How you know?" He goes, "Because my hands it just feel the top of the Kremlin." They're like, "Oh man, that's something, that's something." So they're flying the plane a little bit more, and then Ronnie Reagan, he stick his hand out the window. And then he goes, now we fly above USA, baby. And they say to him, "How you know you fly over USA?" He goes, "Because my hand it touched the top of Empire State Building." They're like, "Oh, wow, man, wow." So then they fly a little bit more. And Tito, he stick his hand out the window. He goes, now we fly over Yugoslavia. And they looking at him. They say, "How you know you fly over Yugoslavia?" He goes, "They took my watch."
Well, I only got one question for you. Why the fuck would they go to Yugoslavia?
Forget about it. You don't know what's funny.
My name is Timothy Trespass. I'm a human being who's found myself targeted and been made sick and covered in bugs and given brain damage and covertly drugged and on and on and on. So I'm throwing up. I've got these horrible migraine headaches. I have conclusive proof that somebody in my house is trying to poison me with roach poison, which I may have eaten over the last few days. And I'm asking my doctor for some more pain medication because I'm in so much freaking pain. My neurologist hasn't done anything. My teeth are infected. I got something, on and on and on the problems go with my health. So I'm doing the right thing, trying to go to my doctor to get some medication and being told that, sorry, but we can't help you. Go away, come back, some other time. And so I'm throwing up and, I'm seeing double. I'm falling asleep because of whatever's going on in my brain. I can't stay awake. I'm, despite the coffee and the sugar and the whatever, and this waves of pain and double vision, blurred vision. I can't see for a few moments. I'm falling over, dizzy. So I go through this whole crap in the emergency room now for 6 hours or whatever, and oh God, this hurts so much. And I did a CAT scan to see if I had another stroke or something. So far, they said no bleeding or whatever. But so she gives me this paper for some Motrin, which I take already, naproxen sodium, Motrin, acetaminophen. I eat stuff like candy till I'm surprised my stomach lining hasn't rotted out. So anyway, as I leave, the nice doctor gives me this paper, and it says here in the paper, call your doctor or go to the emergency room department right away. Oh, God, my neck hurts too. Terrible neck pain, back pain. Go to the emergency room right away if you develop a headache accompanied by vision changes, sleepiness, seizures I didn't have, difficulty speaking, yes, fever, stiff neck, confusion, dizziness, numbness, weakness, or loss of consciousness. I've had all of these things, except for the seizures today. And I went to the emergency room, and what did they do? Gave me some Motrin and gave me this paper that says to go to the emergency room if I have the thing that I just went to the emergency room for. Come on, folks. It's like, and you wonder why people... Never mind. Anyway, that's my story. Sorry to be such a moaning, bitching, complaining, suffering person, but, you know, look at me, man. I didn't do this shit to myself. As those of you who are going through it well know. The rest of the world, what's the matter with them? I mean, look at me, man. Oh, he must have done it to himself. Yeah, I did it to myself. Thanks for watching. God bless you.
Hey robot builders, it's Brayden from the Meccano team, and I've got a fun little program to show you today that's going to turn your Mechanoid into a joke delivery system. You'll learn some basics of drag and drop programming, learn about combining elements, and find out how to use a number of behavior components. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is create a joke animation in the animation builder. So once you have the app turned on, choose the animation building module, and we can begin. Hold down the record button and say the joke, "Why did the Mechanoid cross the room?" We'll record the punchline a little later. Now let's rewind to the beginning so we can animate Mechanoid while he's telling the joke. The animation tool lets you animate in real time just by moving the control points. I'm just going to make his arms wave a little bit. Okay, let's save this and move on. Tap Save, then tap inside the name field to add a name. You should name your animation something easy to remember because we're going to use it later. I'm just going to call this one Joke. Okay, now let's go back to the main menu and select the drag and drop environment. Let's start by dragging a sound output onto the stage. This is the sound menu. After you've recorded a lot of sound effects, you'll be able to just select from things you've already recorded. Today we need to record a custom greeting though, so let's tap the microphone. Just like in animation mode, you hold down the microphone to record and lift up when you're finished. Mechanoid joke delivery at your service. Tap the file icon to save. And we'll call this one Start. Hit save and select it. Now we'll add a button to start the joke delivery. Let's switch from outputs to inputs by tapping the mode button in the top right hand corner. I'm going to drag a button input onto the workspace. Now this button will show up on your screen. Let's choose a smiley face. I mean, it is a joke machine after all. And let's set the color to green, since the button starts the action up. Tap X to close the menu. Let's switch back to outputs now that we can add a line of instructions to go with the button. Drag a text component on top of the button to make a combined component, a component that does two things at once. Type in a message like this that lets the player know what will happen when they tap the button on the screen. Then tap the check mark to close the text field. Okay, before we move on, let me explain combined components a bit. This green box contains all the elements of the component, two things that can happen plus a conditional statement. You can tap the conditional statement to change it. For instance, this statement currently says to do the next thing if the text is displayed or the button is pressed. But that means it will move as soon as the text is displayed. So we want to change that statement to say and, so it'll wait for both things to happen. Now let's program the delivery part. Drag a motor component onto the workspace. This is the motor control pop-up. You can use it to tell Mechanoid to drive forward, backwards, or turn at a variety of speeds for a specific amount of time. Pull down both motor controls to tell it to drive forward. Tap the speed twice to set it to medium speed. Let's have him drive forward for 10 seconds, because I want him to surprise my friend Andreas across the room. Tap the check mark to accept your settings and close. Now we'll add in the joke we made at the beginning. Drag the animation component onto the workspace. The animation menu will automatically pop up. There's the joke animation we made. I'll choose that. By the way, if you ever want to change out a file you've added, or change the setting on a component, all you have to do is tap the component you want to change, and its settings will pop up. Okay, so we've got the joke in there. Let's add a punchline. Drag in a sound component, and we can record one. I'll record a punchline now. Okay, so remember our joke was, why did the Mechanoid cross the room? And here's the punchline. Because it was programmed to do so. And we'll call this one punchline. Hit save and select it. Okay, now let's add a command to have Mechanoid come back to us after telling his joke. Drag a motor into the workspace at the bottom of the behavior. Alright, this time let's push the sticks up so that Mechanoids drive backwards, back to us. Tap the speed twice to set it to medium just like before. And we'll also do 10 seconds, so he travels the same distance. Let's hit the check mark and accept the settings. And it looks like we're ready to test this behavior. Stay tuned for more custom programs that I'm going to be building. I'll make videos for them too so we can work together on them. Well, I'll see you guys later.